What's going on, guys? Tom Talks Wrestling here. Welcome back to another video. Today on the channel we're going to be talking about the Raw Women's Championship. So there have been 7 different champions, different title holders of the Raw Women's Championship since its inception in 2016 at WrestleMania 32. And I thought, why not rank every WWE Raw Women's Champion from worst to best, because Becky Lynch has had it since WrestleMania, and her big long reign is looking like it's going to come to an end, probably a Hell in a Cell to Sasha Banks. So I thought, why not rank them all while I can right now, and in some time I'll probably revisit this list and update it with the new champions, with people probably moving up and down places because they've had more reigns. You know what I mean. Let's begin this. At number 7 we have Nia Jax. Now Nia Jax's reign was a bit nothing-ish. It's just kind of one that seems very forgettable, and even though she did hold it for about 3 months, and that is longer than at least one person has held it on this list, the other person had more memorable matches. And Nia, you know, the match at WrestleMania with Bliss was actually pretty good. I quite liked it. Nice moment seeing her win it. She brought in Ember Moon the next night on Raw, defended it against Bliss, and then even her match against Ronda Rousey was really good until obviously Alexa Bliss interfered and cashed in Money in the Bank to win it from her. But that's all Nia did. She defended it against Alexa Bliss, didn't finish the match with Rousey, then lost it back to Bliss, and it's just, you know, quite a forgettable reign. I would have liked to see Nia do more, but at the same time it helped Ronda Rousey get the title, and Ronda Rousey had a brilliant reign, which we're going to talk about in a bit. Coming in at number 6 we have Bayley. Now Bayley is an interesting one because she's kind of the same as Nia Jax. She held it for about 3 months and kind of defended it against the same people before losing it to Alexa Bliss. So Bayley first off won it against Charlotte Flair on an episode of Raw, which kind of annoyed me how she won it, because she lost 2 weeks before that at the Royal Rumble to Charlotte Flair clean. So she just randomly got another title shot and won it. Kind of annoyed me. And then she broke Charlotte Flair's pay-per-view streak at Fastlane, which nobody needed and nobody wanted. She should have just broken it at Mania. I mean, I get they had to do the rematch, but they could have just had Bayley or Charlotte win by DQ to keep the streak going and her reign going. And she won with help from Sasha, which made her look very heelish. The 4-way at WrestleMania was pretty good. I was there live. The one problem with the match was the lights, and I couldn't see a thing, and there was a big "turn the lights off, we can't see" chant going around because no one could really see the match. But it was still a pretty good match, and Bayley did retain there. But of course, she lost it to Alexa Bliss at Payback, and her feud with Alexa Bliss, we all know, wasn't that amazing. Coming in at number 5, we have Sasha Banks, who looks like she's about to win it from Becky Lynch and hopefully have an amazing reign with it. I'm really excited to see Sasha Banks win it, and Sasha Banks is an interesting one because she's a 4-time women's champion, but her reigns have never lasted longer than about 3 weeks. And you might be wondering why she's ranking so high up when her reigns aren't that long, and that's because of the fact that her feud with Charlotte Flair was just so good. Even though she'd lose the title on the first defense to Charlotte Flair, the matches she won it from Charlotte Flair and the match she defended it from Charlotte Flair were really good. That was just a really awesome feud, and it just gives me so much nostalgia to 2016 post-brand split, which was just such a good era for WWE. And losing it to Alexa Bliss after only 2 weeks of winning it from her, the only reason that happened was because it was meant to be Bayley versus Bliss at SummerSlam, but Bayley got injured, so Sasha Banks came in. And it's like wrestling protocol that when a babyface gets injured, the babyface replacing her wins the match. So that just meant Sasha won the match and lost it 2 weeks later. It actually happened at No Mercy 2016 when Randy Orton was injured against Bray Wyatt, so Kane came in and beat Bray Wyatt, and it didn't need to happen and no one wanted it. It's just wrestling protocol. Coming in at number 4, we have Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch should be number 1 on this list. You know, the potential they had to, the things to do with her reign, there's a lot of things they could have done, and she's such a compelling character, and she's the most over character in WWE. She's one of their top stars, but she's only number 4 on this list. I think it's pretty much down to her feuding with Lacey Evans for a big bulk of her feud. I mean, her title reign. And you know what, I like Lacey Evans, but she's not really ready to be inserted into a title picture like just yet. The first match with Lacey Evans wasn't anything special. The mixed tag team match, to be fair, I actually did quite enjoy. The only problem with it was just I hated seeing Becky and Seth's relationship made into a storyline. Her match and feud with Natalya was actually pretty good, and the match she had with Sasha Banks was also really good until obviously it broke out into a no contest. But I'm very excited for their next match with Becky and Sasha. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Hell in a Cell, and it's just going to be awesome. Becky Lynch does rank number 4, but she hasn't necessarily had a bad reign. She's had a good reign. I just think it's dragged down a bit by the Lacey Evans feud and the Seth Rollins stuff, pretty much. Though Baron Corbin giving her the end of days was a mad moment. Coming in at number 3, we have Alexa Bliss, who I believe has the longest combined days for a women's title reign. She's a 3-time Raw Women's Champion. She first won it from Bayley, and from there she defended it against Bayley. She defended it in a 5-way against Bayley, Nia, Mickie James, and Emma. I believe that's the people in there. She defended against Mickie James as well. I really enjoyed that Mickie James feud. That was a really cool feud. I actually quite liked that one. That's very underrated to me. And obviously she would lose it to Sasha Banks, but win it 2 weeks later. And then from there she would lose that to Nia Jax in that WrestleMania feud, which was like, as much as uncomfortable the feud could be, Nia Jax winning it was a cool moment. And she cashed it in, which I thought was a really good cash in. The first woman to cash it in on the same night, and I believe like the quickest cash in. The quickest time between cash-ins, yeah. Overall, I thought Alexa Bliss's reign was just very consistent. She didn't have the most amazing matches, but I think she did whatever she could, and she helped elevate any segment she was in. You know, the moment, what was it? The Bayley This Is Your Life segment. Awful segment, but one of the only pluses in that segment was Bliss and her on the mic, and she helps that segment be better than it could have been, because if she wasn't as good on the mic as she is, that segment would be even worse than it is. But yeah, I quite liked Alexa Bliss's reigns. I'm liking her as Women's Tag Team Champion right now. Her and Nikki Cross I really like. But yeah, Alexa Bliss comes at number 3. Can these police sirens shut up? Coming in at number 2, we have Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey had a really awesome reign, which no one was really expecting. It was her first title reign, and it came pretty early into her career. You know, I was expecting at least a year of her just having one-off matches and spectacle matches, you know, at the big 4 events before winning it. But she came in, she won it at SummerSlam against Bliss in dominating fashion, which was so perfect for her character, and worked full-time on the road and just had a really cool title reign. I mean, she even had amazing matches with Nia Jax. The one she had at TLC with Nia Jax was such a cool match. A really good match. Her and Charlotte Flair had that really awesome match at Survivor Series for the Raw vs SmackDown match. The only downside to her feud, I think, was when she squashed Ruby Riott. I really didn't enjoy that, and I thought Ruby Riott deserved better. But, you know, she had a good reign. Like, she had a good reign. And, oh my god, her match against Sasha at Royal Rumble, how could I forget? What a match that was. That was a sick match. The Triple Threat main event at WrestleMania, while it didn't deliver as much as it could have, was still an okay match. And, you know, a good way to say goodbye to Ronda Rousey. And Ronda Rousey can say she got to main event at WrestleMania, and she deserves to say that. And finally, at number 1, you all know who it is, because it's the only one I haven't said. The inaugural Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. The way Charlotte Flair won the Raw Women's Championship was really awesome. It was one of the only good matches at WrestleMania 32. That triple threat with her, Becky, and Sasha. Mwah, that's a spicy meatball. Yeah, that was such a brilliant match, and Charlotte Flair won that. And she'd just have a really good reign from there, feuding with the likes of Natalya. That Sasha Banks feud, obviously, we can't stay quiet about, because what a feud that was. And that's kind of where she would flip-flop between the title, winning it like she's a 4-time Raw Women's Champion. The feud with Bayley was also really fun. They had a good match at the Royal Rumble, and the WrestleMania 4-way was also really good. And then after that, she would obviously go to SmackDown. So yeah, she had a good reign, and then she went over and killed it on SmackDown too, you know. Charlotte Flair, unpopular opinion, she's the best women's wrestler in the world. I purely believe that. Her and Tessa Blanchard are the 2 best women's wrestlers in the world. Don't at me. But yeah, let me know if you agree with my list. Who would you put where? And if I forgot anything in terms of like matches and stuff like that, let me know how you'd rank it. And if you want to see me do this for the SmackDown Women's Championship, let me know, because I already have that list prepared and I'm ready to record it. So yeah guys, I thank you all for watching this video. If you did enjoy, smack that like button, follow me on Twitter at Top10 Wrestling, my Instagram is at I'm Tom Bell, and yeah, goodbye and keep on rolling.